Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and make some custom long tube intakes, 2.5 inch to be exact, on the FX37, which is gonna allow it to breathe a little bit better. But right now, this is actually gonna apply to other platforms as well that come with the BQ. So 350Z, 370Z, G37 is gonna apply to all those. You can do the same exact things I'm gonna do in this video for that car. I will be making some long tube intakes for the 370Z later on in the future because I have some extra piping that I can use for that. So that'll be one of the next videos that I make if you guys are interested for the 370Z specifically, but it'll work for either platform with this video that we're gonna work on today. But first things first, we're gonna go ahead and remove the bumper on the FX37 to begin making our cuts and start measuring everything out. So let's go ahead and jump right into the front of the car.
So right there. Then you gotta take off all these clips. There's 2 more 10 mils right here. Then that should really be it. Well, I guess actually no, there's another 10 mil right here. So you gotta pop this out. And then there's 2 10 mils right there. Take those off so to release the bumper. Then you gotta take this thing off right here. Has some screw heads right there. Gotta pop this off. And there's another 10 mil right there. Then there's a lot more 10 mils on the bottom you gotta take off as well. Take out the bumper. It's best to remove this shroud right here too. Just take off these clips. Total of 4. Pop this off. Give you a little bit more access to get in there. There's one right. But let's take that off. Get out of the way. And then this has a sensor. And the fog lights have sensors as well. So you gotta be mindful of that and trying to remove it. This little tool right here that makes it a little bit easier to take off these clips. Like that. That one is broke. And this will come out. Alright, now we gotta remove all those 10 mils, just holding in the splash shield right there. And then there's some clips right here holding this up. So we gotta take 3 clips and all these 10 mils going down. Everything has been pretty easy to remove, and these things came out like nothing. And here's the other ones. Right here. See that? Twist off like nothing. I mean, which is good because it makes it easy to remove everything, but everything's like loose. And then it looks like there's one more up here that you should take off. And I won't be able to reach this one. Alright, luckily for me, I was able to find this tool right here that I have. And just like that. That one was actually on there really good. Alright, so there's one clip right here. Okay, that did not break. Alright, cool. So now, just look for the other one. It's not coming off right here. Oh, there it is right there. There you go. Okay, now push up on this. Match. So there's another like clip right here that luckily I didn't break, but you want to get in there, try to push it out. That'll make it a little bit easier. Take out the bumper because with this on there, I was just hitting it and I couldn't really get leverage to pull it out. Yeah, this one's broken right here. Alright, now this you want to pull forward, it'll release. And there you go. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut these right here. Alright, so here are both of them cut. They're pretty close to even right there. I'm just gonna sand it down. Get all these little edges off over here. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Alright, so now we got both of our maps. So I know for sure this goes like that. It looks like it's the same, so it doesn't matter which one's on which side. But yeah, looking pretty good. So I just gotta clean these, get all that debris out, and then we can now use these when we get our piping to make our long tube intakes. So now right here, this is where the intake is gonna come through. So we're gonna have to remove this for sure with the terminal right there, and then cut this out. I'm gonna take this out. Alright, so I took this off for right now because we need to remove this. So I'll probably just put it somewhere else, like around here. I don't know, just mount it somewhere else. Even like right here. Mount it right there would be fine. But this needs to come off. Or we need to make a hole right here, big enough to fit in there. And then I'll remove the intake to see a little bit better. Alright guys, so I made a cut right here. And then I'm using this to kind of make sure it fits. I just gotta cut this right there. This thing sticking out. And then right here, I'm gonna make it a little bit straighter, going down and then smoothing it out so it's not like sharp. And then that should be perfect, honestly, because it already fits with no issues. Just wanna give it a little bit more space to get it to like move around. It can already, but just like make it a little bit smoother. So after removing the intake, I had a lot more access, just like look in there and see like what I was gonna hit. Everything looked fine. So I just, you know, started cutting with my Dremel. I used this attachment right here. Just went through it like that. And there you go, just like that. And then I'm going to use one of my smoother ones to smoothen this out. It's like a sander, so take off all this stuff right here and then just move this in a little bit so it doesn't have that curve. We should be good. Same thing with this side. I'm just going to check right here. Looks like it's going to be the same thing, but for this one I have to be a little bit more careful because there's these lines right here, so it's going to have to be more up. So I'm going to cut like this section right here like that, and I think that should be okay. This right here, I just gotta be careful I don't touch it, because over here I kind of slipped and like hit this here, but luckily this was in the way so nothing happened. But yeah, you just gotta be careful when you're cutting it. So I'm just gonna cut like right there, and hopefully that should fit. If anything, I can go like right here, so it gives it a little bit more space. Alright, so it's taking me a lot longer than I expected, but I still need a lot right here to sand down in order for it to fit properly. I am pretty sure that these are a lot thicker, so I think with that space I should be okay, because you can see that these are really thick, right? And then if it's a pipe that goes through there, that's not going to be as thick, because I'm thinking about doing the pipes that go through here to extend out. It should clear perfectly fine with that, but I do want to sand it down as much as possible so I don't have to remove the bumper again, because removing the bumper wasn't easy and I don't want to have to remove it in the future. But that's what we're doing right now. I'm gonna sand that down a little bit more, and then we should be done with this so we can install the intakes later on in the future. Alright guys, so we finally got our package right here with everything that we need to go ahead and make our piping, and everything just looks so sick. Here's the MAF adapter that I pretty much created and cut out. As you can see, this fits perfectly right there. It's gonna be like no gaps, so that's honestly perfect. Gonna push it like all the way up there. And here are the clamps that it came with. These will also work perfectly. They're not a little bit out of shape, but just gotta push them back and then tighten it. Should be good. Then it came with two of these, 2 of these, and then I think it was like 2, 4, 6. I think it was 6 of these right here. So I think that should be enough because we honestly only need like maybe 2 of these, so 4 in total. And then we should need one of these for the Z or the FX, whichever one I see fits best. And we're gonna use one of these most likely for the other intake, so we shouldn't need too much. Now this tube I don't think I'm gonna use. Well, I shouldn't need to use it, but if I do, I can cut like this right here if I need more of a curve. But this would be if like you want to route it under to go up and down, but I'm not gonna make them that long, just to the front of the grill. Alright, so right here, as you can see, we have more than enough space right there. Still needs to go further back. I'm gonna have it like right here. And then the intake can connect directly right here. The filter, this might be a little bit too long. We might have to cut it. But same thing right there. More than enough space. I do feel like I will have to cut this though. At least right here. But I could use the smaller ones as well. But that would also require me to cut the tubing. Because as you can see, this is really long. But I could even install this. Like right there. Put a tube right here. And then cut it like right about there to put the filter right here. So there's a few ways you can do this. So far looks like it's going to work with no issues. Even that right there is perfect to connect right there. And then putting the tube on the other side. So I'm going to go purchase a new flywheel to be able to cut these because I ran out of flywheels to cut. And then we can go ahead and start measuring everything to begin doing this install. I'm going to go ahead and remove this right here. So this is going to go right there. And then just like that. So I want to place this like that. And this is going to go something like that. See, it goes way out. Oh, that'll be too short. This one, like right there. So we do need to cut it like up to, I would say right here, to connect this to curve in. Just like that. Alright. And then I do have to clean these because you can see all these like metal shavings or aluminum shavings in there. So what I even could do is a piece I'm going to use to cut right here, connect it right there, and then the filter right here. So this will work out perfectly. Alright, so now in the kit, you also get this elbow looking one right here. And I kind of don't know if the elbow one would actually fit a little bit better. I'm trying to figure that out right now. Let me just install that like that. And this one. So see how it kind of like curves in like that? I could cut it right here, put the pipe right there, and it'll kind of sit like that. So it'll still be in this area right here. Let me try the straight one, see how that looks. Okay. So yeah, actually on this side, the elbow one is gonna be the best because right here you can see it's kind of hitting right there. So adding this elbow right here will be like perfect for that. And then just cutting it like right there. Alright, so I got my little flywheel here, my Dremel, so we can go ahead and start cutting this. I tried cutting it, as you can see, with something else, and it just was not working. It was taking too long. Alright, there you go. Took a bit, but finally got it. And then I'm gonna go through this right here, clean it up so it doesn't have like these sharp edges right there. So I'll probably just use like this one right here to just clean up that area. But there you go, I got one piece. This is gonna be for the left side. And then we gotta cut this one still. And then, as I was saying earlier, this right here should be enough to use the couplers on. One side right here, the other one right here. I think that should be perfect. That is pretty much perfect right there. And then hopefully this isn't long enough. If not, I'm gonna have to cut another tube. But if it clamps on right there, I think it should be like right here, which is perfect right there. Yeah, I think that should be alright. We might have to get a longer one. I'm not exactly sure, but we have to get that filter, because I know the filter, like, it'll clamp on right here, right? And the filter cone will be like right here and like right there. So I just gotta put the bumper on because the logo's like right here. So I think the best spot is like right there. I think this one might actually be too short because it's gonna be like right there. Alright, so I tightened all the clamps up there. Now this one, I'm thinking about having an angle kind of up like that, so it sits right here. I think that would be perfect. So alright, now for this side, I did have to angle the pipes like a little bit, you know, to the side like this, to get this to straighten out. And then here, same thing with this pipe, kind of angled it, so it gives it more like a straighter look. And then I need to add like a bracket right here to hold this up, at least like that, kind of thing right here. This way, it doesn't hit the lines at the bottom and damage it. And then it should be perfect like right there. And it actually sits like a little bit closer in. So I think just connecting the pipe right there, or the filter, should put it like right there. And I could even move this like a little bit more back, like that, to push it in just a little bit more. But I think that is like pretty close to even. I just need to make this sit up just a little bit higher. I could even add something right here to hold it up right there, and that would be like perfect, honestly. Alright guys, so I have this bracket right here laying around, and I'm gonna go ahead and use to install this on the intake so I can hold it up. And I'll show you guys what I mean right now and how I'm gonna use this. But I have also this thing laying around, and I'm gonna attach this somewhere like right there, and this is gonna allow me to move this up to like install right here. This way it can hold the intake up for me so it's not hitting anything. So now I just gotta measure this out, make sure it fits appropriately, and tighten this down so I can get it to exactly where I want it to be. Good thing is this thing is flexible, so I can move it around, and if anything I can just cut it to make it a little bit shorter. Alright, so I just tightened this down, so now I just gotta move it around to where I need it to go. I'm gonna bend this thing. I mean, I could bend this thing too in, so I can attach it like so. And then it's pretty close, as you can see. Now I just gotta move this thing up and then try to get it where I want it to sit. So most likely like around there. Alright, so this one's good. As you can see, it's not hitting anything, which is what I want. I don't want it to hit that pipe because if it rubs on it, it could possibly damage it and it burst, because that's like the AC line. So right there, we're good on this side. Nothing's gonna happen. I mean, I could make it sturdier so it doesn't move at all, but I think that's fine. Alright, we finally got the filters, as you can see right here. Just gotta tighten this bad boy up. I'm kind of angling it right there so it can sit flush. Alright, so the bumper's back on. We're gonna go ahead and do our first startup to see if we have any issues. Right now, this intake is too close to the grill. Like it touches it. This one's like perfect. So let's turn it on.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. Hopefully this helps you guys out in making your own intakes for your, FX37 or 370Z, G37. It's gonna be the same thing for all of them. Just maybe angling the pipes a little bit differently, maybe a little bit different for you. But for the FX specifically, this is gonna help you guys out a lot. The reason I did this is because you can't really find long tube intakes for the FX37, and they are pretty pricey. For example, like I think the Z ones are like what, $400 plus, where I made these technically for like $200 because I got the Concept Z tubes used for like, I think it was like 60 with the MAFs. As you guys saw in the previous clip, I had to cut some intake boxes to get the, the MAF connections. I spent $60 for that, and also the silicone tube for the throttle body. So that in total was like 60. On top of that, I think I spent like $85 on all the tubing and everything. So all that tubing that you guys saw in that box, that was all like $85 to $90, which is insane. And I'm going to use some of the extra tubing that I have left to make intakes for a 370Z. So if you could imagine, instead of spending, $400 just on, the FX or 370Z, I actually spent like $200 for everything when I'm going to make 2 intakes for both of the cars. The 370Z, I have short rams, and I'm going to convert those to, long tubes in the future. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned to the channel. I will be posting that hopefully sooner than later. I will go ahead and link down everything in the description so you guys can go ahead and pick it up. The filters, I didn't talk about like the quality, but they were actually really, really good filters. They weren't like cheaply made. They actually felt pretty much the same as my K&N ones that I have on 370Z. They felt pretty good, and they felt just as good as those intake filters. So really good quality filters. I'll link those down below. I went with blue because I'd rather go with the blue theme on my car versus red. So you have the option between red. I think there's also gray, blue. And the piping, I'll link that down below as well. Got those from Amazon. Same thing with the filters. The tubes, the silicone ones that go to the top, you can also get it from Amazon, but you can buy it from like Z1. You can buy it from Concept Z. You can even get ISR ones. There's many options available. Just pick your poison. There's other colors. I would have liked to done blue, but I got them used for a good deal, so I couldn't really pass it up. As for the sound, it sounds pretty good. I like it. You can't really hear it in the cabinet because, the filter's all the way in the front, but from the outside, you can hear that growl, and it sounds pretty nice. So I really like the overall result, how it came out, especially for the price that I did it for. It's pretty sick. And no issues. The car's not bogging. It's not doing anything weird. Runs perfectly fine, just like, the stock ones. It doesn't have any issues at all whatsoever. So it's a great alternative if you have issues with your intakes, they're broken or something. Make some long tubes out of it, and it'll be better. And the reason I wanted to locate it to the front is because if you put it right where the engine's at, it gets really hot. That's why they call it hot intakes. I wanted to go ahead and position it to the front so it takes in that colder air, so it's not sucking in hot air, gets heat soaked. That's the main purpose of putting it in the front versus, in the middle. And it's actually bringing a lot of cold air, or a lot more air, inside the grill versus being inside the engine. But that is going to conclude the video, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.